I think we have some few questions here. I could see few questions. Thank you, Dr. Sharma Sam. And I just go to the question. Few questions. What I could feel is that if we go from the bottom side, tell me the budget for. Yeah, there is one question from one Mr. Pintu. Tell me the budget for establishment of Tetra Pak 10,000 liter per hour soya plant. शर्मा साहब कुछ आइडिया दे सकते हैं? आपका आपका म्यूट हो गया है.
Around 4 to 5 crores.
Around 5 crores.
Basic investment. You know, then you need to.
You mean plant and machineries? You mean plant and machineries? Plant and
machinery. Yeah.
Okay. Then other purposes will come.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
there is one more question from Mr. Pintu. Is fermented soya can storage how many days? I mean, he must probably asking how many days the fermented soya products we discussed about those, no? Northeast we have got some fermented products already being used. How many days it can be, like kinema bolo, ya Thurengbai bolo, ya Beckingham, Hajar, or whatever it is, no? Whether they can be stored for how many days? And
usually
added for class 2 preservative.
Okay.
So, Suresh sir, you can talk on this.
See, adding class 2 preservatives is not possible, advisable. The reason is, see, the fermentation, you have to add the class 2 preservatives before fermentation. So if you add them, your microflora will not grow. So that is usually nobody adds a class 2 preservative, of course. But you can, if you freeze the fresh fermented foods like akuni or other bikong or anything or something like tempeh natto, if it is refrigerated in the refrigerator, it can be kept for a week, maybe maximum 12 days in the refrigerator, 7 to 12 days maximum.
But once open, it has to be used. Huh?
Yeah, they have to be consumed. There is a frozen process. You can freeze that, which can be kept for. Sorry.
Northeast, mainly this kinema and thongrenbai, they mainly use it as chutney. Thurengbai is mainly a chutney, no? And they use it with the rice and vegetable curry.
Yeah.
And even for kinema in Meghalaya, we have seen they with the boiled rice, no? They take it.
Yeah.
So they are
usually 2 to 3 days you can use it. But of course, there is some products can be dried, like what I have shown in the flow chart, where after fermentation you dry it, okay, in the leaves, and then you do the vacuum packaging. So when you dry it in vacuum packaging, you can keep at room temperature maybe for a month or 1.5 weeks or so. Okay.
Fine.
Sometimes you can go higher. That all depends on how much moisture you brought down. Suppose if it is around 10% moisture, so you can obviously keep it for even longer time, maybe 4 months, 5 months. But so that depends on how you are storing. If you are using fresh, not more than 2 days. Otherwise, it will start giving the strong flavor, which is may not be acceptable.
May not be desirable, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Well. So there is some more question. Just a minute. There is one more question I could see now. This Sumit A Bionutrient. How many households consume tofu, and how is the acceptability of flavored tofu in Northeast? Do you have any study on this?
We don't have any study, but you know, Mr. Bhattacharya, we recently did a survey. From the Northeast, we have got about 200 responses, mostly the consumer responses.
Okay.
So whoever has responded, they all said they are aware of tofu. Sorry, I lost the connection.
Especially in northern India, but spicy tofu, yes,
I lost my
spicy
connection.
Tofu is very common, like in
I think we missed him, or is he available?
Sorry,
He is
I
available.
lost my
He's
connection
here.
in between. Sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah. Kindly continue. You are talking something, and I think in between current went off.
Yeah. So what I was telling is from the survey, whoever we have contacted or participated in the survey, they are all familiar with soya milk, and they said maybe once in the tofu, I mean, once a week or maybe twice a month they consume. That is the only information we have. Maybe Mr. Bhattacharya, being in the Northeast, maybe you can throw more light if you have anything.
Now we don't have any ready study on that. We have
Okay.
to refer to either again Soya Food Promotion Welfare
Okay.
Agency, whether they can make a study and give us through. We can talk to the Northeastern Council to sponsor a study like that. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay.
Bhattacharya, sir, one thing I would like to tell you, like,
Yeah,
you know,
Doctor.
we live in Ghaziabad, and there are so many outlets of tofu, you can see here. And we introduce tofu, like, you know, we buy tofu from these shops, and many of our neighbors, they also started buying. So now it has become a practice. Like, you know, people who started buying, they didn't stop it buying. I think it's a continuously growing kind of thing. Earlier, this was not the case. People, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
they were having hesitation, reservations, like, you know, some because of some of smell and all that. So because of the health consciousness and because of the you know, the technology improvement in processing technology, now this is very much acceptable.
Thank you, sir. We have another question, and I think there is one more question. What is silky tofu? That I think Dr. Suresh, Dr. Ratanji already explained.
Yeah.
I think Suraj Bhanji, your question has been already answered. Now I will take the question from Saror Saija. Any soybean food processing training program? Do you have any live training program?
We have some plans to do a training program, a virtual training program currently, which we have
Live
planned
training
for.
program होता है क्या?
Virtual, we do
Any
that.
live training program?
See, right now we don't have any plans, but definitely we can, once the situation has improved, then we can always plan it and let you know. But we have
You are
plans to
talking
do
about some
virtual
virtual
training.
program is there? When is that? Dr. Itapu, when is the virtual training program?
Virtual training program will be in April. There is one virtual
So
training
anybody
program.
from North, if anybody interested from Northeast, they can also join, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Right. There is one more question. I think this question goes to Dr. Itapu. Is there machines available for small scale for the projects you discussed? And if required, can the association help us in getting government support?
Yes, there are for few things, like if you are looking at soy nuts, there are small machines are available, not for
Yeah.
textured soy protein, but if you are looking at a dry blended beverage, you can do in a small scale. But as maybe
Correct.
you will be discussing, there is a lot of support from Government of India and more in the Northeast also. There is at least 25, 30, 35% subsidy is there in different projects that they can look at it. And if they have any specific interest in a particular product, so they can contact us, we can help them. Definitely in soy milk, there are small machines are available.
Fine. Thank you.
In soy milk, like, you
We
know,
have got grant and subsidy to the extent of 50% in Northeast.
Okay, yeah. So
And
that
in
is a
some
big
pockets,
support.
it is around 75% also.
Wow.
So help us to grow more on this sector.
definitely,
Yeah.
We choose the entrepreneurs, the potential people, and we will definitely help. Like, you know, we can.
In fact, we are at the right group. You know, Laghu Udyog Bharati. They are basically dealing in MSMEs, and they are all industry people. They have one or other industry with lot of visions to develop this part of the country.
Yeah.
So I think probably we are in the right platform now to take it forward. Only we want the SFPWA should come and help us, please. Sir, one more question I could find from Mr. Surajban. How much ratio of mixing soya atta in besan and bakery products by bakery products? I think that is the question in cottage industries. Soy atta
Uh,
mixing in papad and chips. I think that you already explained. Yeah.
it
Okay.
varies from different products.
Kindly refresh and tell us. Yes.
Yeah, it varies from different products. If it is like atta, you can go up to 10%, not more than that, because it will not be acceptable. But in besan, you can go up to 20%. But if you are making papad, you can easily do 20-25% in papad. But in bakery applications, there are again, it ranges from 2% to like 7%. So based on the product, if you are looking at a bread as a functional improver, maybe you can add 3%. There is something called full fat enzyme active soy flour is added only at 1%. And if you are looking for protein fortification, you can go higher. But again, so these percentages changes with what you are taking. Like if you are taking defatted soy flour, your inclusion rate will be low. But if you are using soy protein isolate, which is very, very acceptable, then you can go a little higher quantities. Okay.
Okay, Ji. Okay, thank you. There is one more question which is 15. Let's see. I think this is the last question we'll take.
Yeah, okay.
Shelf life of tofu and ideal temperature. Nathan Sharma.
Basically, yeah, as I told you, like, in normal refrigeration conditions, you can keep it for 10 days. And, if you don't have a refrigeration, then, just you put the tofu in water and keep on changing the water in 2-3 hours, depending on the temperature. Add some salt. If you add some salt, then, this brine solution, you can keep it for like 20 days in normal room temperature. But the problem with that is that it absorbs salt. And otherwise, just 2-3 days in open conditions, 10 days in refrigeration, and 1 month in vacuum packaging.
Okay. Chalo, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And now, any other questions? I think our chairman, sir, wants to have a question. Yes, sir. Kindly unmute yourself. Kindly unmute.
Yes, sir. I, on behalf of Laghu Udyog Bharati and Northeast Industrialist, once again thank Mr. Bhattacharya and all the members, Sarpan Sharma and YouTube, everyone who has given so much time to us to. But I still am not understandable. As Bhattacharya told, there are so many entrepreneurs. But whether it is possible in Northeast, whether soya is available, how much liter can be in minimum size, it can be produced. Because I can bring so many entrepreneurs. Here, tofu is available in some of the shops.
Mostly in the hill states
Yes,
and districts,
yes.
soya is available. There is no commercial production. Only thing is that what we can plan or even strategize, because now farmer producer companies are coming up in organic production can go, so that as Dr. Itapu was showing some small equipments,
Okay.
Atmanirbhar Bharat, we can take up those where they're giving 10 lakhs grant for a 35 lakh project. So that probably we can take it up by utilizing the farmer producer company going for that particular production. This is at the present moment, and probably once we start with 1 or 2 units here and there, that will give motivation to grow more and come up further. Well, sir, there is one more thing I just want to share.
Okay, sir.
We have now understood that yes, the major driver of the soya market is basically health awareness.
Yes.
And among all of us. So I would put a request on behalf of Laghu Udyog Bharati to the association here. Kindly have few, as and when the pandemic is coming down, let us have some live.
Yes.
And that will really give a motivation to take forward such things. I'll talk to the MOBCD group here, Government of Assam and other states also.
Yes, sir.
Awareness campaign fund. If we can associate that, or otherwise USEC can help us, because this part of the region has got lot of potential, and people are interested to take such activities. And another important driver, what I feel is that is the increased lactose intolerance among the individuals will cause them to consume more soya product instead of the milk. Already it is a difficult situation in this part of the country. So all this together, I think we have a lot of scope to do, and I really wish that something should come up. Just before I go to the chairman of the association, Mr. Chatara Saab, to give the conclusion, Sarata ji जाने का पास पहले, I just want to share with you that I have just now been told that why not you speak some of the schemes which you can support the entrepreneurs. So I'll just share with one or two whatever we know. See, basically we, as I just now told about this, our Atmanirbhar Bharat one scheme is there. It is for scheme for formalization of PM micro food processing. For that matter, it is that the particular crop which is grown has to be taken. But here, of course, soya is not commercially grown, but probably with lot of awareness it can come. Otherwise, this particular scheme gives support to the extent of, as I told you, a minimum a grant of 10 lakhs for a minimum of 35 lakh project. You can go up to 1 crore also. But advantage for soya in this comes because farmer producer companies are one of those group, or self-help groups are one of those group who can take advantage of this particular scheme. So probably we can try to motivate the farmer producer company to grow soy in those hill districts and also the hill states, and there are already a demand for it among all the tribal people in the region. This is one scheme. Otherwise, we have few more schemes under PMKSY, under Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Prime Minister Kisan Sampat Yojana, all of us know that. Then we have some SFSC, Small Farmers Agribusiness Consortium. They are giving venture capital schemes. So that particular scheme also has got actual opening for the Northeast. They are very clearly spelled out of that, and we can take this. And all of us know, even our SPFO, they also know that the National Horticulture Board has got schemes for any sort of agri-horticulture commodities. Then we have some investment policy of Assam 2019 has come. There are advantages to set up industries, nothing specific to soy, but then soy is a part of it, right? So we can try to plow in the advantage, whatever we get in the scheme. Then we have one needs 2017, this Northeast Industrial Development Scheme. That is also giving lot of support. And categorically speaking, I just want to share this, since these discussions, when we are talking about this discussion of this webinar, you spoke about the webinar, this startup companies in Northeast. We have an organization called NetFi. NetFi has a startup venture fund, and probably some entrepreneurs can try to take advantage of this particular scheme. All of us know about Startup India scheme. Startup India scheme is already there. Then Bairak ke biotechnology scheme is there, all known to all pan India, it is there. Then DST has got some incubator schemes. They are supporting for some incubators. Our Jorhat Agriculture University has taken up some support on this, and also our ABI Meghalaya has taken support on this ICR. So all this can really benefit, and every state of Northeast has the specific state policies, where they come up with big support. And one interesting thing is that there is a ministry, Development of Northeast Region. They have got a scheme called Steiner, Science and Technology Intervention for Northeast Region, Steiner. That scheme, if we can really influence the Northeastern Council and the ministry, if required, if you give me a go ahead, I can talk to them. We can have a good discussions, probably starting with the webinar only with them. Try to influence these schemes has got a lot of benefit, and these schemes can try with the soya products, and we can really try to support the startups on this sector. And otherwise, all of us know about RUTAC scheme, ICR, CSIR, Spices Board schemes and all that. That, of course, in general, that will not directly support the soy in specific things. Like we have got, if we can really try to support our states with the knowledge and wisdom, Nagaland has started with the honey mission. They were not growing honey much. Similarly, Meghalaya has started with this turmeric mission. So we can also influence and trade the advantage of this soya protein, basically what Madam was trying to highlight. The soya protein is important, the cheapest protein, and how best it can be a very good purpose for the region's benefit. So all this together, we can even go for a state-specific mission. You can identify a particular state, grow it, say Manipur. They are every staple of that, they are taking this product. Think of Meghalaya also. Like that, you can take Sikkim has done extensive work on soya. In the university is also taking up standardizing some of their product. So Sikkim University. So we can like to associate with them, and probably this is the beginning Laghu Udyog Bharati and our Asocom India has given us, and we can take it, move it to make it more strong. And let's see how best it can be taken forward. With these few words, I'll, if all of you permit, I'll now go to our chairman of this Laghu, Sarat Chandra ji, I'll go, chairman of SFPWA, Soya Food Promotion Welfare Association. Sir, we look forward to hear from you. And we, as requested, we look forward a lot of associations with your organization. Now more than 1.5 decades, you are doing a lot of efforts pan-India, and Northeast, we also look forward to get a lot of support, sir. So Sarat Chandra ji, a request to give your valedictory address so that you can close the discussion today and look forward for further association in the near future. Sarat Chandra ji, please.
Thank you, Subhash Bhattacharya. I am very much happy to have a good panels here, and a lot of good audience are here, and there are some good questions also raised about here, and which Dr. Kavita Reddy has been explained much about health benefits about so many parameters of soy protein, which is particularly nowadays required for the pandemic situation, for the improving the immunity. And still pandemic is not at over. Still people need to understand to take protein rich, that too particularly soy protein based product, with the cost of protein is very lesser compared to other proteins and all. And where Northeast India having very much little presence of about availability of milk and other protein subjects, where there is a good opportunity, I feel, which our association will support certainly to take it forward. And similarly, Dr. Ratan Sharma ji explained about milk and other processing technologies and available product. And Dr. Suresh Itabuji has been explained much about various available products, about so many products which is of interest for the Northeast region, which can be made locally or which can be repacked and relabeled, or something can be done as per the FSSAI norms, which all people cannot able to afford to start an industry. There are a lot of support from Dr. Mr. Sumit Agarwalji supplies soy milk powder, which can be repacked and sold also over there. And tofu, there are other companies are available. Initially, as Dr. Ratan Sharma ji told, people can start, buy something and place in the market and test it again, then think about developing a product such a way which is suitable for the region. And as chairman of Laghu Udyog, Mr. V.L. Agarwalji has been explained about, people are very much interested. They have a lot of industries over there which can understand the connection to start about soy industries. And we welcome all this subject. And Mr. Subhaji has been explained much about all the people's interest. And Dr. M. Krishna is also very much familiar with the bakery industries and other subjects. And hope this is a starting connection within this pandemic area. And certainly, once the pandemic is getting over, some few industries should be started in Northeast India. I welcome all people for the future of prospecting soy business in India, and particularly in Northeast India. Thank you very much. Thank you for all.
Thank you, Sarat ji. If Dr. M. Krishna sir is there, with all of your permission, can I ask him to speak 2-3 words and give us a moral support, sir? Dr. M. Krishna sir is here.
He's there.
I think, Bhattacharya, we are already beyond our time limit. So after all these scholastic presentations by Dr. Kavita Reddy, Dr. Suresh Etapu, and Dr. Ratan Sharma, my valued colleagues and mentors, I don't think I have much to add, except if I want to share some of my thoughts.
Please, sir, we'll be grateful, sir.
As Kavita has mentioned, we are at a situation where protein is very vital for our very survival in terms of the pandemic and the role of protein in improving our immunity levels. Protein is central to our very existence today. And it is very appropriate that we're discussing about soy as a potential source of protein of highest quality and the most economically accessible protein. We are the 5th largest soy producing country in the world. We produce something like 10 to 11 million tons. It varies between 12 and I think 10. And in terms of its contribution to human nutrition, the actual protein that is derived from these 11 million metric tons of soybean can meet the full protein requirements of 350 million people in this country at a rate of 60 grams or 55 grams per day. So what a paradoxical situation. We are sitting on a protein wealth in India, and on the other hand, we are facing protein malnutrition. So I think it is time that we really realize how to bridge this and take this soy forward as a vital link to our diet and health. I think it is time that we come out with out-of-the-box type of innovative ideas to break through and take this most valuable item of our diet and food forward to the needy people in various regions across the country and outside the country. In the soya, as the demand grows, there is no limitation because our production is less. It is an internationally traded commodity. We can always bring soy from other countries, North America, South America, Central America, or even people are now importing from Africa. So there are no roadblocks for our supply chain. We can get as much as possible, grow in India and get into India and create an India that is healthy, vibrant, productive, and the best in the world. I think this is my dream. This has been my dream, and I share my dream with all of you. And let us see how best we can make this dream a reality. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me to speak a few words at the end. In fact, I have spoken a lot, not few words, but a lot of words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your margdarshan. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Namaskar. Namaskar, everybody. And with these few words, I again sincerely thank Laghu Udyog Bharati, this our Soya Food Producers Association, and USEC, and our ASOCOM India to do this program at our midst. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you.